Welcome, Scorpio, to my channel. This is the Divine Phoenix Rising Tarot, and my name is Zachary. I am just getting started here, getting tarot out here to the public, but this is my first reading here with you, and I am excited to be here and read for you for the month of October, specifically with the Libra eclipse, solar eclipse happening here on the 14th. Along with the new moon. So I know I'm a bit late starting here in the month. I wanted to get this out though before starting my weekly readings for the week of the 9th, because we have that solar eclipse energy that's going on, and I wanted to get some information to you that would be helpful, hopefully, as you're navigating this time, and to help make the most of those energies as well. So the solar eclipse, or the eclipses, are a very powerful time for enacting change of some sort that we want in our lives. It can be a bit of a chaotic energy, but the benefit of that is that it's very powerful. So the new moon as well is a time to call in what we want for our lives. Full moon is a time of letting things go. New moon is a time for inviting things in. So making the intention of what it is that you want is really important at this time. For the eclipse being in Libra, relationships and partnerships are what are highlighted right now for all of us. But for Scorpio especially, it's a time to pay attention to your mental health. And I don't want to talk a lot about, I'm not here to give professional advice because I'm not a professional. But with that being a time for you, I would recommend being or getting into a place where you're examining where you are. If it's something that you're struggling with, to really consider reaching out for help, because there's a lot of help out there, and you are absolutely worth helping yourself and getting help for yourself. So if it is something that you are struggling with, please consider that for yourself, just as a friend, from a friend to a friend. You do matter, and I want you here, I'm sure you're great to be around. I don't know you, but I want you to be well, and I want you to be happy. And if happiness is something that you're struggling with right now, you deserve to get the things in your life that you need in order to procure the happiness that you deserve, okay? So I want to start with pulling an oracle card here in my Starseed Oracle, just as a general vibe or energy, overarching energy for the month and for the eclipse that's going on here. For Scorpio, please. Woo! Lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. I can get that to show you that, gosh. There we go. Some of you may be experiencing some deja vu. All right, I'm going to read this to you here. I'm gonna find my book. All right, so lost lands. There we go, you can see that a little bit better. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts can come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with the lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think that lost lands exist in the past. Others believe they exist today, in a different dimension. I believe these ancient lands also exist in the souls of those who experience them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of lost lands such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Avalon exists within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unblock the seeds of these ancient lands, so we can all learn from our mistakes and usher in a new age. I unlock only forgotten wisdom and soul gifts from lifetimes past. Awesome. So, there's definitely an energy surrounding this time for you about tapping into where your soul has been in the past. Your soul has the information from everything that you've experienced and can absolutely help you in your present. So this card is encouraging you to go have a conversation with your soul, call back whatever information or experiences you need to. And speaking more specifically on ancient lands, there's a lot of knowledge that these civilizations had, or if it is still in your soul here, have, that we need here now as we're going through this process of shifting and ascending from 3D to 5D, shedding a lot of what, all that nasty crap. It's people like you that are needed to be those vessels to bring that information forward for the rest of us to be able to fill in the gaps where we're missing how we're doing things or what we need to be doing. So, and a lot of the times, those folks are the ones who have the hardest time with things like depression and anxiety. I totally understand that. Just to kind of tie back what I was saying before. But if you're missing, if there's something that you're missing as well, or you're feeling that you're missing, call back those pieces of your soul or from your soul. Maybe you're struggling because there are components of yourself that are fractured or splintered away from you right now. And that's not to replace any professional advice. Like I said, there is a time and place for professional help. And if that's where you are, please be honest with yourself, and you deserve to get the help that you need. Okay? So I'm going to get this reading started here. Today I am using my Witchy Tarot, and then I've also got my Light Seers Tarot. I'm going to pull a few cards at the end to see what your challenge, your bane, your boon, and clarification on the outcome. And then I also want to pull another card on what energy needs to be cleared in order for you to move forward here. Okay, so let's get started. This deck is still pretty new and it's a bit stiff, so there we go. So Scorpio, we're coming up on your time of the year, and Halloween. Is anybody dressing up as anything this year? You can answer in the comments. Obviously I can't hear you. And speaking of, if any of this resonates with you, please like, share, comment. I am absolutely it is my intention to get this channel built, and I need help from viewers like you. I would love to have you along on the journey here. And if there's anything you don't like about this, you do like, please let me know as well. Something maybe you'd like to see more of or see less of. Unless it's my face, like I said in the in the intro video. Okay. All right, so starting off here, we have the King of Swords, King of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Empress, the Four of Wands, Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups, Ten of Swords, Seven of Swords, the Sun, and then the Devil. All right, this is an interesting one. Let's take a look. So, a lot of swords here, for sure. I think a lot of you are struggling with your thoughts right now. Maybe some of them aren't so kind. to others and yourself. I love this deck. So Ten of Swords, actually, you got the Ten of Swords here, and this is, we'll talk about this here in a second, but they made this card, and it's just kind of a funny, everything's fine, this is fine. I actually had this pop out when I was reading this morning, but she's just sitting here on her cell phone, probably Snapchatting, and Ten of Swords is all about rock bottom, like complete painful loss. She's fine, it's fine. All right, so right now the energy that you are emulating this month or in this situation is the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is a sharp individual, being the top of the sword suit. Swords are all about the mind, thoughts, the mental realm. So what this is saying to me is that there's a need for getting to this place, for getting the thoughts under control, for mastering your mental domain. Being crossed by the Queen of Pentacles here. And the Queen of Pentacles is, she's a bad bitch. Let's be honest. She is a self-made woman, and she's confident, and the reason she's confident is because she's built her realm, her money, on her own. And so what I'm getting from both of these is that there are some of you that I feel like there's a struggle. Some of you are emulating this energy, but you're also taking away from yourself in this energy by having an imbalance in the way that you are mastering your mental realm. You're letting thoughts maybe even destroy what you've made, what you've worked so hard to make. Or what you have been working so hard to make is affecting the way that you are in control of your thoughts and the way you communicate. I feel like there's a battle going on here between these two. So let's keep going here, see what comes through. What you know about yourself, what you're aware of in this situation or with you, is that you are, Scorpios are a very deep water sign. There's a lot of emotion there, but because it is so deep, a lot of the times, other signs, other people don't understand your depth. And it could even come across as maybe you aren't very emotional. You're so deeply in touch with your emotions, though, that a lot of the times, or sometimes with some of you, they're not coming out. And the Empress here is a very nurturing, fertile kind of energy, and that's what's coming out to me, is that there's this need, or maybe you need to nurture yourself. Your emotions are so fertile right now. There's a need to tend to yourself. And the Empress is also, she's the divine feminine, but she's the amalgam of all four queens too. I'm getting that, like, with those personalities, I think a lot of you are feeling fractured right now, or feeling that maybe these pieces, these queens that are inside of you, are, and this is, I mean, either gender, this isn't only for females. We're all bad bitches here. These components of yourself are feeling fractured right now. And there's a need to bring them together. And I think, I mean, you're feeling this with mental health being highlighted right now in the eclipse season. This is it's a fertile ground. This is the perfect place and time to bring those pieces back together. So let's keep going. Oh, and yeah. So what may be hidden to you, or what you may not see or understand yet, is the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is a celebration. It's a get-together. It's a party. Crossing a threshold. What I feel with this, in conjunction with what you know or what you're feeling right now, feeling that fractured, being the goddess or god that you are, and having those pieces of yourself fractured or fracturing, is really unsettling for sure. And you can sense that. Some of you may just know that. What you can't maybe see right now, but will see soon, is that you're going to be coming to a point, a new threshold, a way of being, of doing things. The cups are more about emotions, but the wands are, your creativity and your passion. I'm just feeling some stormy waters, you guys. Oh my God. My good God. I feel like there's some safety in this. You're wanted here. And I'm curious to see what's going to come through, what this is. The Four of Wands can also symbolize a marriage, actually. That's what I'm kind of getting there too. What you're not aware of maybe yet is that these pieces of you aren't maybe as fractured as you think or feel they are. You've always been monogamous with yourself. So I think this is saying you have it a little bit more together maybe than you think you do. But if you are also struggling, like I said in the beginning, being honest with yourself is important. And the Queen of Swords talks about that too. She's about the truth. And delivering that truth in a way that's not... She's blunt and she's direct, but she's also aware of all of the other components that are making up a situation. And this is an energy that this is where you've been in the past. It could be waning though too. It's an influence that could be losing its presence in your life. And I think maybe that's why you're feeling possibly like there's some fracturing. Maybe there is I'm feeling there's a need to be honest with yourself. Something's been going on that you've been having a hard time looking at yourself in the mirror. Giving yourself that clear, honest, and kind message. I would encourage you to carry that with you for sure. Don't ever stop being honest and kind with yourself. Near future, what we could be looking at possibly in the future is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is Prince or Princess Charming. Someone who is wanting to pursue love. They may be a bit naive, young, not sure how to do it, but they're ready to do it though. Even to the point of blinding themselves to other factors. So this individual is seeking love no matter what. And I think for some of you, I'm getting that you'll be seeking that love from somebody else, and that's not something that you can't do or shouldn't do. We all deserve to be loved at every point of our journey. I think what this is encouraging you to do, though, is when that drive or when that feeling comes to you, to remember to fill your own cup first. This night is asking for somebody else to fill that cup. And you always need to choose yourself first. You always need to fill your own cup first. So in the near future, you're being called to get that cup filled. And with something life-sustaining. What you fear right now in this situation is the Ten of Swords. And this is, like I said, rock bottom. Everything is fine. And that's how you're approaching this situation. You are a Scorpio. You can handle a lot. Like I said, there's that depth of emotion. Pluto is a deep space. I think your fear right now is that you are a lost cause, or you have hit rock bottom, that the situation is hopeless, that it's time to leave the disastrous morass. And I don't think that is the case. I think maybe that's why you're feeling like you're fracturing. But having that lack of true honesty and kindness with yourself over what is going on right now for you is making you feel shattered. It's making you feel disconnected in that way. So what's going on here, where this is taking place, or how other people may be participating in this situation, is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is it's a sneaky energy. It's about theft and betrayal. What this is saying to me is that there is a betrayal. But it's self-betrayal. This is you. This is probably why you're feeling shattered, or like you're falling apart. Why you've hit rock bottom. Because maybe you've forgotten how to fill your cup first. And with mental health being the main topic here for the eclipse, that makes a lot of sense to me. And lost lands here being your message overall. I think you're feeling splintered. And I think that you may be making it worse by you're abandoning yourself in some way. You're betraying your own badassery. But there is a coming together. There's a welcome home. There's that, like I said, that marriage that you are to yourself. You're not seeing that right now. You're on a break for some reason. And we're going to investigate that a little bit further too. But yes, yeah, that's what this card symbolizes to me. There's there's something that you're doing or not doing, and it may involve dishonesty to yourself. This Queen of Swords, I can't see the layout here, she's looking directly at the Seven of Swords over here. So yeah, that tells me that you're not facing something. Your hope in this situation is the Sun. Well, yeah, totally. You're hoping for success over this pain, over this mental anguish. The Ten of Swords is a really black card too. There's no Sun there. This is what you're afraid of. You're afraid that things are hopeless, that you've been completely stabbed through, even right in your neck. But even with this being your fear, you're still pushing forward as if everything is fine. This is fine. Let me just get this posted real quick on TikTok. This is possible. I know this is here for you. You may not be able to jump right to the Sun. There looks like there's a lot of sharpness, but I don't feel like you are at a loss. I don't feel like you are at a complete loss or rock bottom. I think because those pieces of yourself are fractured, or just not in congruency with each other, that you're feeling like this is rock bottom for yourself. But what you're not seeing or feeling is that you do still have it together. You're just not being honest about something. And maybe it's that you need some help. That could be in the form of a counselor. That could be that you need to just take some more time for yourself to recharge, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you're an introvert and you're spending too much time with other people, and that's draining you, and that's making you feel disconnected from yourself. Whatever you do for yourself to feel whole and to feel happy, that is what you are being shown here that's not happening. And that maybe there's a drive, to be looking for that in other people. And that's not the way. Not the way, my child. So as an outcome here, though, you also have the Devil. And the devil symbolizes toxicity, our own toxicity, and needing to free ourselves from binds. Could be addictions as well. I was going to make that comment, no judgment, but I was saying fill it with a life-enhancing liquid. I feel like some of you may be drinking too much. And no judgment on drinking at all. It is a depressant, though, and it absolutely isn't the way to feel better about something. I just feel like some of you are maybe leaning on that a little bit more, and it's hurting you. You're betraying yourself in that way. Like I said, alcohol, there's nothing wrong with alcohol. But if you're not feeling okay, it might not be the best choice. And it may be enhancing why you're feeling this way. That everything is a mess. So I want to pull, where are we here? I want to pull those 4 cards, like I said, to get some more information on what is going on for y'all. It's a little bit darker than any of the other readings, guys. Scorpio, are you okay? Yo! Do I need to send help? If I can get Bane, boom, outcome, and then also what energy needs to be cleared. Woo. Love it. And then energy that needs to be cleared for Scorpio. Please. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm gonna take it. Yeah, okay. Okay. This is gonna be one of the longer ones too, but I feel like this is an important message, you guys. Have some real talk today. I think you need it. So your challenge for the month, you've got the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is all about connection, about getting together with the people that you love and connecting, loving on each other, doing things that make you happy. Maybe you guys are feeling isolated, a lot of you. We're not here to be alone. And even as an introvert, I'm super introverted. But even as an introvert, we need people. Even her right here, she's messaging her BFF. There's a great amount of healing that's found in togetherness. And maybe you are feeling those pieces of yourself coming apart. Yeah, coming apart because you don't have those people around right now to remind you of who you are. Because sometimes it gets really hard for us to always remind ourselves. In a perfect world, right? And I think that that's what this is encouraging as well. What you're not aware of is that you have these people here to lean on. And if there is anyone out there that doesn't, that's where I'm saying, please reach out to somebody, even if it's a professional. This kind of energy I'm feeling in this reading is much heavier. My goodness. And I've dealt with my own mental health stuff, some really hard stuff. I don't understand exactly everybody's path, but I very much understand what it feels like to go through shit. And you really deserve to be happy again. This is your hope, and you deserve to have that. So what you're blessing, though, is in the for the month here too, in the eclipse, is the Star. And the Star is such a great card. This is your Make-A-Wish. The Star comes after the Tower, and the Tower is a upheaval. Everything just exploding. You don't have the Tower here, but maybe some of you have had a Tower moment recently, where things came crashing down. And what this is saying to me, being in your blessing, is that you've got the power around you, especially with this eclipse and new moon. Make that wish. This is your hope. Take it out of the realm of hope and manifest it. Make it an intention instead. Because you've got that Star there. That Star has chosen you in this situation to make your dreams come true. And shit, you deserve it. This is owie. So I did have 3 jump out, and I do feel like these all ought to be a part of the outcome here. We've got the Ace of Wands, 3 of Wands, and then also the Hanged Man. So Ace of Wands is finding that passion again to get going and to get going. The 3 of Wands here is about making the choice to move forward. So bringing these two together, finding your spark again. And putting that choice of allowing that spark to grow. I think that's what's going to be happening for a lot of you, is you're going to feel, reach out to somebody, for God's sake. Let them remind you of what it is about you that is your spark if you've forgotten. And then allow that to grow and allow that to move you forward across to where you need to go. The Hangman talks about, there's a note of, you know, we put ourselves in this position sometimes in order to get a different perspective on things. And the good thing about that is we can flip ourselves right back up when we need to, but sometimes we forget to do that. And the blood can rush to our head and make things worse. So this card is asking you to put that effort into changing the way that you're looking at this. Change the way that you're looking at yourself being at rock bottom here. I don't think you are. I think you just feel. I think you're feeling that way. And as such a deep, deep feeling sign, since feelings and thoughts are the way that we manifest, I think a lot of you are making the mistake that because you're feeling this way, that this is the truth. And you may be hoping for those brighter days, but you're lying to yourself and betraying yourself by letting those emotions take you over. Get out of your isolation. I think that's what the devil is talking about, that toxicity and that addiction to your own isolation. Maybe some of you are struggling with feeling addicted to those low feelings too. You deserve to feel better. So the Hangman is asking you to change your perspective on that. To clear what needs to be cleared here in order for you to move forward. The Five of Pentacles, in the standard deck, it's a couple individuals outside of the church that are destitute. They're out in the cold. They're not being provided for. And that's what the Five of Pentacles is all about. So this is asking you to clear that energy of feeling like maybe you don't deserve to be in the warmth. Or because you have been here for so long, you feel like this is it. You have to be the one to change what's going on in your thoughts, in your head. Because that's a big part. Like I said, mind and heart. This is how we manifest. There is a reality that is happening. There are many realities that are happening side by side the one that you're experiencing right now. And this may not apply to everybody, but I'm very strongly getting that this does apply to somebody, and I need you to hear this. Let yourself back inside. I think a lot of you, whoever this is for, you're punishing yourself for some reason. You're feeling like you're telling yourself this is where you belong. And that's the betrayal. That's the theft. You're taking your own life force away from yourself. Stop doing that. That is foul. And you deserve so much more than that. Woof. So Scorpio, to end this on a positive note, because I don't want this to be negative. It's not. It's just heavy. I feel it's heavy. Ugh. And the thing is, I've been here too. You absolutely deserve more than this. And whatever has happened that has caused you to come into this place, you get to and you can make the choice to let your spark start again, to let that inner light begin to grow again. And you need to. And the world needs you to as well, especially with this being, you know, your lost lands. Those of us that tend to get into those places the most have the most to share. And we all, I like to explain it like we're this house that is life. We're all just a different window on the house of life. And we may all be looking at the same dining table inside, but every single one of us has a different perspective, and not one other person can describe that exact perspective. And you have a specific perspective on that dining room table that nobody else does. And without that perspective, it is impossible for us to truly see that dining room table. I hope that makes sense. That's what I'm feeling is important to share, and that's what I've gotten from this this message here. I love you, Scorpio. I haven't met you, and I love you, and I am excited to continue reading for you here. Like I said, I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but there's definitely an energy surrounding mental health for you Scorpios, all the Scorpions out there with this new moon and eclipse. So my recommendation to you, because you do have that benefit this month, I think this is pointing to the eclipse, make a wish. Make a wish, and let that carry you to where you need to go, because it will. So feel free to watch your sun, moon rising as well, Venus, to get a more full picture on what may be going on. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I am excited to have some happier readings here for you in the future. Okay, take care, you guys.